Hey everyone, welcome to the Collector Investor channel, where we learn how to invest in comics and cards together. We got a new Suicide Squad trailer on Friday, so we're doing a deep dive on all of the comics you should be looking at for investment or to add to your collection before you get priced out. Quick disclaimer before we get started, I want to make sure that I note that I'm trying to learn how to invest in comics and cards just like everyone else. I am not a certified financial planner or advisor, and the contents of this video are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They do not constitute financial advice. I can't promise that the information shared in this video are appropriate for you or anyone else. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. We got a new trailer for James Gunn's upcoming movie, The Suicide Squad. It looks awesome, and it came with a new main poster along with a handful of character posters. We're going to start by reviewing the comic books related to the characters that were most prominent in the trailer and in these posters. The tricky thing is that throughout the movie's promotion, they've made it clear that no character is safe and there will be characters that are killed off in this movie at any point. Like these posters say, don't get too attached. Figuring this out ahead of time is going to be tough unless we get a massive leak before the release. Otherwise, we're making educated guesses based on trailers, posters, and any news that comes out. This is important because we're hoping to understand which characters have long-term growth potential versus the ones that will only be popular in the short term leading up to the movie but don't have any future past the movie's release. The one character we can feel almost 100% comfortable with being safe is the wildly popular Harley Quinn. She's one of the few carryovers from the original, has a big star playing her in Margot Robbie, has an HBO Max animated series, and had her first somewhat standalone movie released last year. Her first appearance is Batman Adventures number 12. We're using CGC fair market values from comics.gocollect.com. In this case, the fair market value for a CGC graded 9.8 is $2,500. The average ungraded or raw price of this book is $733. The raw numbers we show are from coverprice.com. Links to both sites are provided in the episode description. You'll also find links to eBay searches for all of the books that we're going to discuss in this video. In my opinion, Batman Adventures number 12 is a great investment for a big spender because Harley Quinn obviously has a long-term future in pop culture, and if you're just starting out, this might take some building up to. Next on the list, we have the first appearance of Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba. Superman number 4 is very affordable, especially if you're just starting out at only $150 for a 9.8 and around $5 raw. If you're looking now though, act fast because prices are already going up, and I've seen solds on eBay for around $20. Still affordable, but there's already been an increase in just a weekend. You can also wait and see if the hype dies down a little bit between this trailer and August 6th when the movie comes out. We might get a market correction in that time because of the big jump that we just had, but it also might not come all the way back down to $5 again if there's still significant anticipation throughout the next few months. Fightin 5 number 40 is the first appearance of Peacemaker, who definitely has staying power, and his prices show that with the most recent sale of a 9.2 for over $4,000 back in November and a raw price of $472. This is an old and rare book, so the best condition book sold in the last year was a 9.2. John Cena is going to be returning to play Peacemaker in his own series on HBO Max, coming to us in January, which is likely why the pricing for this one is so high on top of the history of it being an older, more rare book. Another higher-end book is Rick Flag and the Suicide Squad's first appearance in The Brave and the Bold number 25. Again, this is an older book, so the highest graded book sold in the last year was for a 7.0 for $4,000 in October, and an average raw value of $455 will probably set you back. Detective Comics 585, the first appearance of Ratcatcher, is $160 at a 9.8, and Raw was actually $5.50 on Friday before an increase over the weekend where it's already doubled. Ratcatcher is an obscure villain, but was featured prominently in the trailer, in the main poster, and she has her own character poster, so she might have a larger role in this movie than you would have otherwise expected. No telling what the staying power is for a character like Ratcatcher, but with a 2 times increase price over the weekend, this is still a very affordable book and a nice target if you're just starting out. Polka-Dot Man is one of the most quirky characters in Suicide Squad and has value just by how absurd and cheesy he is. Finding a 9.6 of a comic published in 1962 just gives it more intrinsic value in itself because of how rare something like that is for comics from the Silver Age. What's nice is that the raw price is around $74. At that price, this is definitely in the midterm range of what someone might spend starting out and should be a good investment if you can find a raw copy in solid condition. Superboy number 9 is the first full appearance of King Shark, and it always helps for King Shark that this comic comes with a significant feature on the cover of his first appearance. King Shark is a character that's becoming more popular as DC makes more TV and movies. He's been in the CW's The Flash a handful of times, is a regular character in the hilarious Harley Quinn cartoon on HBO Max, and now is being voiced by Sylvester Stallone in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie. King Shark was an absolute hit on Twitter over the weekend, so his price has jumped in just a couple of days, similar to Ratcatcher. His 9.8 has gone up $20 from $140 to $160, which isn't too crazy, but his raw value has almost doubled, going from just under $34 to just under $57. This is another case where maybe you see if the price comes down in a month, but you're probably looking at a new floor for this book, given how King Shark's popularity is only going to increase. Legends number 1 is the first appearance of Amanda Waller, and is a great investment if you think James Gunn's Suicide Squad is going to be a hit and will be the start of a new franchise. Amanda Waller is synonymous with the Suicide Squad, so if we're getting more movies, we're getting more Waller. A CGC graded 9.8 is going to run you around $120, but an ungraded copy at only $5 could end up being an absolute steal. Captain Boomerang is one of the Flash's main villains, so The Flash number 117 is a higher priced book. This is another case where if you think Captain Boomerang has staying power and you like Jai Courtney's portrayal, $177 for a raw copy might not be the worst idea if you have the budget for it. Even if Captain Boomerang is killed off in this movie, he's still a significant character in the Flash universe, so in my opinion, its pricing is less likely to be negatively affected by not being included in future DC projects. Also, there are definitely raw copies selling for less than that $177 as well. Pulling the trigger here all just depends on your budget. The first appearance of the Thinker seems to be super rare because the only sales history I could find for it was a CGC 7 sold for $630 in 2019 and a raw copy sold for $175 all the way back in 2018. This is a book from 1943, so good luck finding it. Awesome if you do, because it's pretty affordable based on the limited sales history, but this is one that's probably unreachable for collectors or investors just because of the scarcity. Birds of Prey number 56 is the first appearance of Savant, played by James Gunn favorite Michael Rooker. My gut is telling me Savant is a candidate to be killed midway through the Suicide Squad, but Michael Rooker is super popular in the comic book fan world given his roles in Guardians of the Galaxy and The Walking Dead. So this could be a really smart buy at only $50 graded and $16 raw if Savant sticks around. James Gunn and Sean Gunn look like they're the new Ron and Clint Howard. James is following Ron Howard's lead by featuring his brother in all of his movies. Ron's brother has played some obscure characters, but it's tough to argue he's played anyone as obscure as Sean Gunn's Weasel. Definitely a gross out character, the Weasel has some under the radar chances of actually being a fan favorite. There's no graded sales history that I could find, but raw value is slowly increasing. On Friday, ungraded value was at $6.75, and at the filming of this video, it's around $9.50. Alright, we're past all the characters that were featured on all of the Suicide Squad promotional materials. That includes the trailer and all the posters. And we're on to characters that only made trailer appearances. None of them are bigger than Starro, both literally and figuratively. Starro has officially been revealed as the main villain for the upcoming movie. Unfortunately, unless you have some serious disposable income, the first appearance of Starro is out of reach because his first issue is shared with the debut of the Justice League of America, making an average raw copy of this book almost $2,000 and the most recent 9.0 sale a whopping $49,000. Blackguard wasn't featured too heavily in Friday's trailer, but Pete Davidson is an upcoming star and it's already been confirmed that he'll be appearing in the HBO Max Peacemaker series. So, the character is probably safe in this movie, but he might not play too significant of a role judging by his lack of promotion. At $22 for a raw copy, this is a sound investment giving Blackguard's future in the DCEU, the actor playing him, and the fact that it's also a first for Booster Gold, a bonus character that has yet to play a role in the DCEU, but certainly could. Nathan Fillion is playing a character named TDK. The internet has figured out that given the character's initials and costume, TDK most likely stands for the Detachable Kid, who made his first appearance in Secret Origins number 46. I think TDK is a prime candidate to bite the dust early, and this isn't the most inspiring cover, so maybe avoid a graded copy, but definitely consider throwing $6 at a raw version, or if you can find it at a local comic shop in a dollar bin. Suicide Squad number 1 is the first standalone comic series for the team and also features the first appearance of a character named Warden John Economos. A version of this character will be in the upcoming movie and Peacemaker series. Economos seems like he's a bit character, so I'm waiting to see if that raw price drops from $19. But if we've learned anything from WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even first comic appearances of small characters get boosts when they show up on your screen. Suicide Squad number 33 is a tribute cover to the previous book, and also happens to be the first appearance of a character named Juan Soria. A gender-swapped version of Juan Soria seems to be in the Suicide Squad with the name Soul Soria. Soul Soria doesn't seem to be a huge character in this movie, but it doesn't hurt to pick up a copy of the first appearance in a dollar bin for only around $2. In the comics, and I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this, Mongal is the daughter of Mongal, her more comic famous father. Mongal is only shown briefly in the new trailer, so she's another early death candidate, but $9 isn't a crazy price to pay for an ungraded copy of her first appearance. I couldn't, however, find any sales history for a graded copy. Lastly, we have the first appearance of Javelin in Green Lantern number 173. This is another cheap raw copy at $3, which makes it a good buy just by itself. But again, Javelin wasn't heavily shown in the most recent promotion of Suicide Squad, so who knows how long he actually lasts. Seems like he could be a funny character though, played by German actor / comedian Flula Borg. Thank you all for watching the very first episode of The Collector Investor. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Also, leave a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on all of the characters that we just talked about and what their futures are in the comic book world. Until then, we have a ton more coming for you in comics and sports cards, so we will see you next time.